Hey, welcome back to Big Fuzzy Works. Spring is on us. So last year I happened to be walking through Home Depot and came across a bundle of these things called laths. I'm sure some of you know what they are. I did not. They are cedar strips. I believe they're for nailing. These ones were cedar. There are other kinds. They come as pine and such, but the cedar ones got my attention because cedar makes great in-ground stuff, and it would make a great garden stake. They're 1.5 inches by 2 feet, and I brought them home. I sanded them, I cut them down, and I turned them from that into these, and I'm going to show you how to do it. And I also thought, hey, I could make a cheaper product. These ones will last 10 years, but if you have access to some paint sticks, you can do exactly the same thing in a thin version that will last a season, maybe 2 seasons. Indoors, they might last a little longer, and if you sealed them. But today we're just going to learn how to make the basic stake, and then later I'm going to show you how to do a merge from a CSV file to create custom ordered if you wanted sayings, if you wanted, random different ones. If customer just wanted to send you a list, you could turn it into a CSV file and create your own stakes on demand. I hope you learned something, and I hope you have fun. So let's just jump in. We're going to start by making a rectangle. Today I'm going to work in inches because they measured out that way well. I'm going to start with making it 1 inch tall, and make sure I'm unlocked so that I can do both directions, and I'm going to make mine 6 inches. And then I'm going to immediately create a second rectangle. I'm going to start in this corner, just drag out a rectangle. Now, if you don't know, these little dots will tell you where on your object it will scale from or rotate from if you choose to use these options. So, because I started here on the top left, I'm going to click the top left. If I started from the middle and scaled or change the size, it would adjust from the middle. But I want it from the top left. Again, I'm going to make it 1 inch, and in this case I'm going to just make it 1.5 inches. So this part here is going to become our point, and why don't we just do that immediately and get that out of the way. When you create an object, it's not automatically editable with the node editor, and I want to do that. Excuse me. So in order to make it that, I need to change it to a path, and I do that by hitting Edit, Convert to Path, or Control-Shift-C, and then you'll see as soon as I switch to the node editor, I have the nodes there. Now what I'm trying to do is finding the midpoint of this line, because I want to be able to bring this to a point. So if I just hover over that line, zoom in nice and close, you can see it switches to a kind of an O that tells me it's at the midpoint. If I hit I, it will insert a node there. And in order to get it to make my line, all I have to do is hover over this node, hit D, delete, and hover over this node and D, delete, and that's it. I have my point. Now I'm going to leave that for a moment, because in order to get this inner space, I want to have my rectangle whole. So I will take that now, and I'm going to offset it. I've already done tests, so I know I want to offset it about 1.5 or 0.15 inch, and that just gives me a nice little border. My text is going to go in here, so I'm also going to leave a corner because I'm going to round it at my own leisure. I don't want to delete my other objects, and that's all I do. I say OK. Now I have my inner one. I know it's probably not going to be that long. I'll drag it up a little bit. Next step is just simply adding text. So what you have for text at the moment, size doesn't matter. You can scale it into place. What you would like to do is have it from the left, because you're going to be adding beans and beets and cucumber and whatever, and you want them to start sort of from the top and move down. So I found Impact worked really well. It was a font called Impact. You kind of want a chunky one that will do nice all caps. I found small case wasn't very convenient because you don't really want pieces hanging. I did try originally creating the ones that have like an opening, the text comes along and there's no top to them, but I found that the letters broke off, and I didn't think that was a good selling feature for customers to have the letters being broken off as you're trying to pound the steak in. So I went with a totally enclosed one. So anyway, we'll just start typing. I'm going to put, let's try cucumber, and also I want it all to be caps, so cucumber in all caps. I'm going to grab that guy and I'm going to bring it up, and I can see already my rectangle's a bit small. Shrunk it too much. Grab it, make it a little bigger. Now this is where if your font was, or if your text came out smaller, you're gonna want to bring it up to size. What I am looking to do is overhang my rectangle, and you can see right here I'm just barely on it. I want it to have some space into here, because what I'm going to do is subtract this writing from this rectangle to get a solid piece, and I need some substance to do that. So if I scale that up a little bit, now if I want to center it, I would select the font, select my rectangle, and then I'm going to hit the target and align. Now the next thing I want to do is combine these two. So I select this rectangle and I select my text. Now I'm just getting a little ahead of myself here. Before I do that, I would like if you would take a copy of this, because I'm going to show you later how to change this into a merge file, and you do not want all of that combined yet. So Control duplicate, Control D to duplicate, drag that piece up out of the way, and let's just leave that for a minute and come back down here and let's merge these two. This rectangle and this font, always in that order, because you're subtracting one from the other. We're not actually adding them, or we will get a completely different setup. We click this one here and we subtract it, and then you end up with your font. Once we have this combined, the next thing I want to do is combine my point to my stake. So I'm going to just grab the two of those, and in this case it doesn't matter what order you pick them in, because you're going to select add or merge, union or merge. I find union is nice, and I'm just going to click that. Now the next thing I want to do, because I'm not a big fan of pointed, is I'm going to add my radiuses into everything. So down here on radius, I'm going to select that, and I'm going to select an 1/8 inch 0.125, and once I do that, you'll see all the nodes come on. I'm going to click this one, and I'm actually even going to do these two just to smooth it out a little. I'm not going to do the point because I feel like that is too big of a radius for it, but I am going to go in and select my inner piece. Change to select it, and I'm going to radius it. I guess I'm going to have to ungroup it, so Control U to ungroup, or up under arrange you can hit ungroup. Then I'm going to just click that one, this one, and this guy, and that is it. And then last but not least, I'm going to go back to my main stake. I'm going to change this to, let's say, 0.03, and I want it to be pointy so I can get it in the ground, but not too pointy that when I'm trying to sell it to someone it stabs them. And that's it. I'm going to grab all of those together, Control G to group them, or arrange group, and that is my stake. So that is a simple stake. You can make And after that, you can array it and make a whole bunch of cucumber. Or now, if I wanted to make a selection of these, I could take this, duplicate it, and then just change my font and adjust my rectangle before combining them. But what I am going to do is show you how to do a merge. In order to do a merge, you need what's called a CSV file. It's a comma separated file. That's all it is. A lot of people will tell you you need to have a spreadsheet of some kind to do it, but you don't. All you need to have is a text file. Let me see if I can open one. So let's get in here. Under your file folder, you will just I'm apologize again if you're Mac. I'm not sure how to make a text file in your system, but if you're in Windows, you can open up Windows. You can on the desktop, you can just right click, you say new text document, and you give it a name. And in this case, we're going to take away the txt. We're going to rename all of it. I'm going to call it veggies.csv, and it'll give you a warning that this might not be readable, but that's okay. You say yes, I want to change that. Now you're going to open that, and in your text file, you're just going to type what vegetables you want, and you're going to type it exactly how you want it to show. So I'm going to leave it in caps. I'm going to type cucumber, and I'm going to hit a comma every time, and I'm going to hit an enter. This is going to tell Lightburn when we merge exactly what I want on each one. So I'm going to try some other ones. Peppers, onion, lettuce, peas. Let's leave it for that. That's good enough for now for a sample. And then one thing I found when I tried to merge this, if I didn't do this step, I ran into trouble, and I want to hit a comma, one more line and a comma, and just leave it at that. So now I hit File, Save, and I just close all of that. Now, back in Lightburn, I'm going to go to my text. I'm going to change it. I want it to read %0. One more thing I want to do. I want to make sure, again, it's nice if it's from the left because it's going to go this direction. So making sure my alignment is left, but also right beside it I have this normal. I want to change this to merge CSV. If you do not change it to merge CSV, it will not know to merge. And this is the only thing that will tell it to merge. So once I've done that, I select my pieces, group them. Now I'm going to array. When I array, I'm going to just take my rows. You know how to array. You change your height, or you change your spacing between. You can go up or down. The other thing I want to have is this auto increment variable text by 1. Maybe I did 6. I can't remember how many we had in there, but I'll go with a few. However many you put in, it will accommodate for. If there's extras, it will just leave a blank. So we array a bunch, and we say OK. And now it's selected all of them. Next step, we're going to use this variable text tab. If you don't have it, search under Window. It's one of the bottom ones. Make sure the check is on, and it will be there. Now, in this case, first thing I'm going to do is browse for my CSV file. So I have the veggies.csv that we made, and I say open. All right. Then look at it. It's already told me how many there are. It starts at 0, it ends at 5, advanced by 1. And then I click this test button, and you see on our screen it puts all the vegetables in that we wanted. Now once we've done the test and we think that's good, we'll probably want to go bake that. Something you can do, cut out of there. Actually, sorry, ungroup your items. Take a copy of that. Control D to duplicate it. Put it up aside. Bring these back and group them. Now we can test again. Does that keep it? Yes, it did. This guy, I feel like we want to, if we want to keep him as a template, we would probably go back here and shut him off from merge CSV for a moment while we did the rest. Go back to these guys, test, excellent. That's what we want, right? And then we hit bake. Bake, we can do one at a time, I believe, but bake will just do them all. And just like that, you're done. You don't need that. Undo this, ungroup that, Control Z, U, delete this guy. There's your things. Now, there is no way escaping. I tried doing it as a group. You cannot. There's no way to escape merging or, sorry, subtracting one from the other. But it's fairly quick. You can grab right to left because it will select this first and then this, and then hit subtract. Again, I might want to grab this guy and shrink him down, scale the two together, or select the two together. Subtract. Subtract. And subtract. And this is all I've done, and this is how I ended up with. I'm just grouping these now. Now you could create a bunch, just individual ones, so you could just pull them down, which is also really fast if you made one of everything you can think of. But the CSV is really good to know. If it works for other things as well, obviously, names on awards, things like that. It's quite simple, and this is how I would do it. And in order to cut my laths, I just cut out a jig out of cardboard. I cut the rectangles, the sizes, the pieces I cut, and then my laser cut my garden stakes out. But that's pretty much it. I hope you learned something. I hope you had fun. If you have any questions about it, let me know. And thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.